All right, so we're gonna go to the next scene now. And let's see, let's X this out. All right, so we left scene 2. So now we're going to go to the next scene, scene 3. Knock, knock. Act 2, scene 3. There's a lot of knocking. If I were the porter at Hell's Gate, I would have to turn a key a lot. All right, so who we have here is we have a porter. And a porter is a doorman, okay? Now, whenever you or someone who watches the door, remember, one thing that a Shakespearean Renaissance tragedy does is after serious moments, there is comic relief. All right, so there's comedy to kind of cushion that tragedy, all right, or that serious moment. So Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have just killed the king, right? And killed others. And so now, to soften that horrific moment, we have some humor. And this is a porter. And y'all, he's drunk. All right, he's a drunk porter. There's knocking. If I were the porter at Gates Hell, I would have to turn the key a lot. Knock, knock. Here we have a farmer who killed himself because the price of grain is falling. You're here just in time. I hope you brought some handkerchiefs. You're going to sweat a lot. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Here we have a slick, two-faced traitor who lied under oath, but he found out that you can't lie to heaven. And so now he's come to hell for perjury. Come on in, liar. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, who's there? Truly it's a tailor who cheated his customers on fabric, but then got caught when tight pants came into fashion. Come on in, tailor. You can heat your iron up in there. Knock, knock, never a moment of peace. Who are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I won't pretend to be the devil's porter anymore. And I was going to let a member from every profession into hell. I'm coming, I'm coming. I hope you appreciate this. Okay, so we see Banquo and Fleance are at the door. Did you go to bed so late, my friend, that you're having a hard time getting up now? That's right, sir. We were drinking until the second cock crowed, and drink, sir, makes a man do 3 things. What 3 things would that be? Truly, sir, it turns your nose red, it puts you to sleep, and it makes you urinate. And y'all remember, urinate means you pee. Okay? Lust it turns on, but also turns off. It gives you the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, excessive drink is a traitor to your lust. It gets you up, but it keeps you from getting off. It persuades you and discourages you. It makes you stand at attention, if you know what I mean. But then you fall down. You guys gonna have to read between the lines of what that means. I'm not gonna tell y'all what that means. Just reread it for yourself and read between the lines. I believe drink did all of this to you last night. It did, sir, but then I got even with drink for messing up me like that. I threw it all up. Is your master awake? All right, so we see they're looking. I knock and woke him up. Here he comes. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you both. Is the king awake, worthy thing? All right, so they go and they're talking to Macbeth now, and they actually greet him as the worthy thing, which dramatic irony, we know he's not really worthy. Not yet. He commanded me to wake him early. I've missed the time he requested. I'll bring him to you. I know that hosting the king is both an honor and a burden, but that doesn't mean it's not a burden just the same. If you take pleasure in your labors, then that pleasure soothes your pain. This is the door. I'll go wake him, as is my duty. Is the king leaving here today? He is, according to his plans. The night has been chaotic. Lord Macbeth, our chimneys were blown down as we slept, and lamentations have been heard on the air. Strange screams of death and terrible voices predicting catastrophes that will usher in a woeful new age. The owl clamored all night. Some people say that the earth was shaking with fever. It was a rough night. I can find nothing like it in my young memory. Once again, nature, he's describing how nature is mimicking the actions of the royalty. Oh, horror, horror, this is beyond words, beyond belief. What's the matter? Destruction has made its masterpiece. A sacrilegious murderer has broken into God's anointed temple and stolen the life out of it. What are you talking about, the life? Do you mean the king? Go into the chamber and see for yourself what's in there. Will make you freeze with horror. Do not make me speak anymore. See, then speak yourselves. Awake, awake, ring the alarm, murder and treason. Banquo and Donovan, Malcolm, awake, shake off the false death of sleep and look at the death true itself. Up, up, and see the face of doomsday. Malcolm and Banquo, rise up as if from your graves and walk like ghosts to witness this horror. Clang, clang. So we see Lady Macbeth is here, all concerned. What's happening that such a horrible cry should call forth the sleepers of this house? Speak, speak. Oh, gentle lady, my news isn't fit for your ears. If I repeated it to you, it would kill you as soon as you heard it. Of course, dramatic irony, because we know she did this. She and her husband really did this. So she's not too sweet to hear this, right? All right, we see he's looking. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master has been murdered. How horrible. What? In our own house? It would be a cruel event no matter where it happened, dear Macduff. I beg you, tell us you were lying and said it isn't so. All right, so I'm sorry, this character is actually Macduff, okay, who catches what's happening here. All right, so we see Macbeth is here trying to look like something happened. If I had only died an hour ago, I would have lived a blessed life, because from this moment on, there's nothing worth living for. All that's left are trinkets. The renowned and gracious king is dead. The wine of life has been poured out, and only the dregs remain. Okay, everybody's disgruntled. What's wrong? You are, but you don't know it yet. The source from which your royal blood flows has been stopped. Your royal father is murdered. By whom? The guards who were supposed to be protecting his chamber, it seems. The hands and faces were all covered in blood, as were their daggers, which we found on their pillows, unwiped. They stared at us in confusion. No one's life should have been entrusted to them. And yet, I still regret the anger that drove me to kill them. All right. So we see here Macbeth is saying that he killed the guards. What did you do that for? Is it possible to be wise, bewildered, calm, furious, loyal, and neutral all at once? Nobody can do that. My love for Duncan inspired a violent rage that got the better of my reason. There he lay, his white skin splattered, his precious blood, his gashes were unnatural, inviting destruction to seep into him. And then there were the murderers, dripping with blood, their daggers rudely covered in gore. Who could have restrained himself? Who loved Duncan and had the courage to act on it? Help me out of here quickly. Take care of the lady. Why are we keeping quiet, brother? We two princes have the most to say in this matter. So we see the sons, Malcolm and Donovan, trying to now figure out what are they going to do now that their father has died. What can we say here? Where danger may be waiting to strike at us from anywhere. Let's flee from here. Our tears have not yet sprung, and the time has come yet for us to turn our deep grief into action. Take care of the lady. So we see there the two sons are discussing and leaving. Okay, so we're going to see if that next prophecy comes true. All right, so we have Macduff here. When we've properly dressed ourselves, let us meet and discuss this bloody crime to see if we can learn anything further. Fears and doubts shake us now. I put myself in God's hands, and with his help, we'll fight the secret plot behind the treasonous murder. So will I. So will we all. Let us dress quickly and then meet in the hall. Agreed. Okay, so we have the two in the hall. What will we do now, brother? Let us not stay here with them. Liars can easily fake sorrow when in reality they feel none. I will go to England. I will go to Ireland. We'll be safer if we go separately. Wherever we go, there will be daggers behind men's mouths. As closely related as we are to Duncan, that's how close we are to being murdered. So we see one brother's going to Ireland, one brother's going to England because they feel like they're going to be killed next. Okay. A murderous arrow has been shot, but it hasn't landed on us yet. We'll be safest if we avoid it entirely. Therefore, to our houses, no polite goodbyes. We'll just steal ourselves away. This kind of theft is justified when mercy itself has been fled. All right, so that was Act 2, Scene 3. Let's go to Act 2, Scene 4. All right. So before we get to Act 2, Scene 4, I want to ensure that everyone understands what happened in Scene 3. All right. One awesome thing about this guide is that it really gives you a great idea of what's happening. And so I just love it. When I tell you I do, I do. I think it's really, really good. Um, so remember, you can always go back and you can kind of summarize what's happening. Um, so, like it said, Macduff, he discovered the bodies. And of course, that's where Macduff tells Ross that Malcolm will soon. Um, oh, okay. So we're going to keep going. All right. But yeah, so like I say, that's the cool thing there is whenever, if you feel confused in the scene, you can always go back and you can look at this general summary and it'll give you ideas of of what's happening. Okay. Okay. So we just finished um, 3 and we're going to move to 4. All right, which is the last scene in here. I'm going to make this bigger. For some reason it got small. All right. It says, I have lived to see 70 years now, and in all that time, but tonight's horrors have made everything that comes before them trivial. Indeed, oh man, you see how the heavens, troubled by the bloody actions below, threaten the earth's storms. Once again, weather, right? This old man is here saying there's not been any time that's been worse than that. And they're describing the horrific things that are happening with nature. Okay. So as we know with nature, nature, once again, that chain of being. By the clock it is daytime, and yet dark night strangles the sun's lamp. Is the night growing stronger, or does the sun hide his face in shame? It's so natural, just like Duncan's murderer. Just last Tuesday, a great falcon circling high in the sky has caught and killed by a little house owl. Okay, so things are out of order, right? Something that shouldn't kill one thing is killing something else. So things are out of order. And then another strange sign, Duncan's beautiful cherished horses suddenly turned wild, breaking their stalls and flinging themselves out. They refused to be obedient, and if they wished to make war with mankind, they say they ate each other. Now y'all see that? Now that's crazy when you got horses that eat each other. Okay? So yes, stuff is really out of order. Indeed, I saw it myself, and the sight amazed my eyes. How it goes? Do they not know yet who committed the bloody deed? The servants that Macbeth has slain. Alas the day, what good could it have done them to kill Duncan? They were bribed. Malcolm and Donovan, the king's two sons, have stolen away and fled, which makes them the prime suspects. More unnatural deeds. What wasteful ambition to destroy the source of one's life. I suppose this means that the crown will fall upon Macbeth. He has been named king and has left for Scone to be crowned. Where is Duncan's body? Carried to Colmkill to be placed in the sacred tomb where his ancestors' bones are guarded. Will you go to Scone, Macduff? No, cousin, I'm going home to Fife. Well, I will go to Scone. Well, I hope you see things done well there. Farewell, and let's hope things don't get worse. Farewell, old man. May God's blessings go with you all, and with all those who seek to turn bad into good and foes into friends. All right, and that is the end of Act 2. Okay, and so now what I would like to do is just to go back to the scene again. Make sure you guys understand what's happening. Um, so as you can see here, it tells you that Macduff tells Ross that Macbeth will soon be crowned king and that he suspects Duncan's sons may have murdered Duncan and fled the country out of guilt. All right. Okay. So we have finished reading Act 2. This, remember, in Macbeth, Act 1 is the exposition, okay, where we were introduced to the characters, we were introduced to the initial conflict. Remember, the initial conflict um, was of course what the witches stated, um, and of course there's this war going on. Things are out of order, and then now we have just finished the rising action, which was Act 2. Remember, Act 3 is going to serve as your climax. So this is where things are going to turn and we don't know what's going to happen next, right? Which is good because we're at the end of scene 2. Excuse me, we're at the end of Act 2. And so in Act 2, we know that Macbeth has been crowned king at the end. And so now in Act 3, we get to see what's going to happen now that he's crowned king. What's going to happen to Lady Macbeth? What's going to happen to the sons? What's going to happen to Banquo and Fleance? Okay, so all of that happens. All right, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.